So it's a wonderful day as we have been waiting for this day for the past 30 days or 60 days, that is in particular. But in general, in our life, we have been waiting for this day where we are going to express our thoughts in English, where we are going to speak English confidently, effectively, effortlessly, spontaneously. So, perfection, good, perfection is needed. But when it comes to perfection, I always use it to give you one golden formula. While learning, while practicing, while giving the presentation in the class, the perfection should be the order of the day. But when it comes to real life situation, when you are interacting with the people, when you are communicating with the public, when you are communicating with the clients, with the colleagues, with your superiors, your focus should not be on perfection. They are not English teachers, they are not English professors, they are not going to give you any marks or anything. So in your real life conversations, your focus should be more on communication, how effectively you are able to transfer your thoughts, and how effectively you are empathizing with others, how effectively you are able to think in their shoes, and how effectively you are getting the people convinced with your thought process, how effectively you are influencing the people. These are the things which we should focus. So now that is the order of the day hereafter. Now coming to our chief guest, Brigadier Sushil Bhasin. In fact, you see, he is a man of many hats. Of course, he is wearing one hat today. He is a man of many hats, and he has got the army background. So that too in a very high position, brigadier. And I am fortunate to have him among my circle of friends. I am using very that great courage, the word friends. In fact, he is my mentor and he is my coach. Whenever I am in confusion, I always get back to him. Sir, this is the kind of confusion I have in my mind. So he is, in fact, after the retirement, the people, they prefer to take rest or they prefer to go to bhajans or something. But this gentleman, in fact, he is the true inspiration for everyone. After the retirement from army, he took this profession. So the kind of discipline that he got from the army, that he is trying to give to the people on one hand. Other than that, he is trying to bring the transformation in the minds of the people. That too, he is addressing the people across the globe. That too, the people in top positions in the corporate world, the CEOs, the presidents, vice presidents of the organizations, and he is beating his own records. He's breaking his own records. So, in fact, I met him for the first time in the year 2018. So there is a common friend of me had given his number and we got in touch. At the time, he conducted a program called Goal Setting Exercise in Hyderabad, in the outskirts of the city, in a resort he conducted. So honestly speaking, I went I was not so confident. Actually, it may be yet another program. Goal means what they teach, that this, that way, with that kind of mindset I went. But he teaches, one unique thing about him is that if you attend his program today and if you go to his program again tomorrow, the same program, what he taught yesterday will be different in tomorrow's program. It will be different every day. He is beating his own records. He is adding new components. He is adding new concepts. It means what? He is a continuous learner. And being with him, it gives you new energy, new hope, new direction, new clarity, new enthusiasm. So this is a kind of inspiration. Just by being with him, we can get inspiration. Then I thought that he will be the right person to give us the right kind of farewell. So that's the reason we invited him. Now he is very busy. In fact, in tomorrow in Mumbai, there is an international trainers conclave. And he had taken the responsibility of organizing it. So when I asked him, oh my God, okay, but he never says no. So in his dictionary, that there is no time, I cannot do that, I am busy. This kind of words are not. He allocates his time. He plans his time. So about that, he wrote a book also, how to manage the time. So he not only he wrote the book, he is implementing it also. There are so many things, but in fact, I did a great injustice for him. I allocated him only half an hour. So in that, like asking him to give the ocean of knowledge, ocean in a small teaspoon. So that is the kind of task I gave him. But now I am sorry, sir, I gave you a limited amount of time, but I am confident you are going to give the concentrated message within that short time. So thank you, sir. You're welcome. Let us give him a big round of applause, all of us.
Thank you very much. Jai Hind, ladies and gentlemen. It
Hey.
is indeed an absolute honor for me to be here today as the chief guest for this remarkable program, the culmination of the paperless fluency mastery program. I wish to convey my sincere gratitude to Dr. Vivekanand for inviting me and for creating this platform, which is not just about language, it is about unlocking new opportunities through the power of communication. Communication, ladies and gentlemen, is the number one skill set on the planet. Number one skill set. Because, and I'm not saying English is the number one skill set. No, communication. A person who can't speak can also communicate. A person who cannot see can also communicate. So, communication is the number one skill set because whatever you learn, it is through communication. Your life revolves around communication. If you go to a bookshop, sorry, any shop, and if you are not able to communicate to the shopkeeper, to the salesman, what you really want, you'll not get what you want. Okay. So therefore, it is the number one skill set. And I want to congratulate each one of you for taking that step, for coming out of your comfort zone, for saying, okay, let's get into this mastery program. And for 32 days, you have been at it. So I must really congratulate you for for getting out of that bed, the bed called the comfort zone. And in this book of mine called Design Your Life, there is a chapter on the comfort zone. And I call the comfort zone the decay zone. That is a zone where you will decay. There's no success in the comfort zone. So, ladies and gentlemen, 34 years in the Indian Army and 20 years in the corporate, business, and education world, with over 700 leadership programs done globally, I have seen firsthand, experienced it, that communication is the foundation of leadership. Not only leadership, I will say communication is the foundation of existence. And today I will probably surprise you by saying that communication or being a communicator is not good enough. Being a communicator is not good enough. You need to move from being a communicator to being an influencer. Why? Why? Because whatever I communicate, I should be able to influence you. So I communicate something to my son. I tell him that it is bad to tell lies. You must tell the truth. But he goes around still telling lies. So I'm a good communicator. I conveyed it to him very clearly without any flaw. But I didn't influence him. So your communication must be with intention. What do I intend getting out of this? Whatever I'm going to say, what am I going to get out of it? Why am I doing it? That question why must come in. Okay, this is very important. So, John C. Maxwell says, and it's a very beautiful quote, and I keep saying it again and again. He says, leadership is influence, nothing more, nothing less. A leader is supposed to get things done. He or she is supposed to get to be able to influence, not communicate. Now, communication is when you say, oh, I told him to do it. And a lot of people in my life have told me, sir, I told him to do it. And I said, did I employ you to tell people? Or did I employ you to get things done? You see, when you are a leader, your responsibility is not to do things. Your responsibility is to get things done. And in the army, we say a leader has only two jobs, two tasks. Number one, accomplishment of mission at all costs. There is no compromise. This task is to be done, period. No excuses, no reasons. So, accomplishment of mission at all costs. And the second is welfare of men. We said welfare of men in our times because there were no women, but now there are women as well. What it means is welfare of your people. Very important. I learnt it in the very first month of my service. I got commissioned in the army in 1970. I'm sure none of you were born, none of you were close to being born that time. And uh, I, when I started my career, I was posted in Sikkim. I was being mentored, coached, and trained by my company commander, and we were the only two officers in a far flung picket. And he taught me something within that 1 month, which resulted into this little incident that a chap, a Sipahi called Joachim Khalko, I was in the Bihar regiment and we had these people, the Adivasis. So Joachim Khalko came to me and he said, Saab chutti jana hai. I said, oh, you can go. But any problem? He said, yes, sir. You all understand Hindi or no?
Yeah, no problem. Majority of,
Little bit,
yes.
little bit. Yeah, I'll translate also if need be. So he said, because he said it in Hindi, so when you repeat it, you get the real crux of it. When you translate it, you don't get the real feeling. Okay. So he said, sir, Meri Mata ji gir gayi. My mother has fallen down and fractured her right knee. I said, oh, go and take care of her. And I said, see, it's very, very good for a child to take care of his parents. So go. 10 days passed. He came, must have come back. I don't know. But after about 10, 15 days, we were in the volleyball ground where I noticed him. And I called him. I said, Joachim, तुम्हारी माता जी का दाहिना घुटना कैसा है? For the rest of my stay in that battalion, this man was prepared to do anything for me. Why? Because he saw that under this tough man who's going to get every job done and there's no compromise, he's also going to take care of you. So, guys, if you do these two things, accomplishment of mission at all costs and welfare of people. Now, it's a very, very tight rope walk for a leader because if you are too much hell bent upon your mission, then you'll compromise on the welfare. And if you are too focused on welfare, you may not accomplish your mission. So it's a very, very sensitive and a very tough balance that you have to maintain between the two. Right? So once again, I want to tell you that because you have taken this very beautiful step of taking this course, we say language doesn't matter. Language doesn't matter. You can communicate in any language. Communication is, I want to convey something to you. Even my silence conveys something. Even my pauses in my communication convey something. When I was a child, my mother never had to communicate with me with any words. When she used to look at me like this, I knew that there's something going wrong. If I was sitting in a group of people and she was not happy with what I was saying, or if I was saying something that she didn't want me to say, she just had to stare at me. That's it. And automatically, from some process, the brakes of my tongue got applied immediately. She didn't speak a word. But today, when we are into our professions, we are in the corporate world, the business world, the education world, and we want to earn money, we want to grow into our careers, we want to get satisfaction out of our life, then comes the importance of English. Because I have to step out of my mother tongue because I want to grow. And I'll tell you something about growth also, because that is what Dr. Vivekanand was saying. But I'll take you beyond growth. And let me tell you right now, don't worry about growth. That will happen. If today you are 20, do nothing. Next year you will be 21. So growth will happen. If you don't do anything, your hair will grow, your nails will grow. So when we say growth, we mean development, planned development. We are talking about progress, not just growth. You see, people say, I've got 20 years of experience. And sometimes I ask them, 20 years of failing, is that your experience? Of course, you learn from your failures. But the point is, just having 20 years experience is not good enough. What I learned in 20 years, my son has learned in 2 years. So more than growth is a planned progress. When you set a goal, he's talking about goals. In the month of January, I did a goal setting workshop. For all of you, I must tell you, there's a reason why I came out of the army. And I don't have the time to tell you today, but all of you want to know why I left the army. I could have been a general today, retired general, playing golf or playing with my grandchildren, having whiskey in the evening. That's what most people do. But I left the army for my love for children. And this whole story of why I left the army is in my TEDx talk. So if you go to YouTube and say Sushil Bhasin TEDx, you will get at least two of the talks are already there. One is going to get uploaded very soon. So I've delivered 4 TEDx talks. Now, this one particularly is on my story of why I left the army. It's also about purpose of life. Do I have a purpose of life? Do I know where I'm going? You get into an Uber and you tell the driver, let's go. He says, where? Can he take you somewhere where you don't know where you want to go? Can you put a letter in an envelope without an address and post it? Will it go somewhere? How can you expect your life to go somewhere without knowing where I am going? So goals are very important. And I do one free masterclass on Zoom every month. And this month it was on goals. Okay. All those who missed it, want to join, I will leave the details with doctor and he can pass it on to you. You can join my WhatsApp group, which is where I teach people for free. I add value to people for free because I did not leave the army to make money. I left the army to transform lives. I will die empty. I will die empty means I will leave all my knowledge and experience with the world. I will not dump it in the graveyard, which is the wealthiest place on the planet, where everyone leaves all his knowledge and goes away. But I am not going to take anything there. I am going to distribute it before I go. Even today, 80% of my knowledge is all available to people. Even if I was to die today, 80% of what I do is available on internet as of now. Whether it's on my podcast, whether it's in my books, whether it's on my blogs, on my YouTube channel, it's all there. And I say, take as much as you can. हिंदी में मैं बोलता हूं, लूट लो जितना लूटना है, take it. Right? Okay. So let's come back to a little bit more about communication, because I got this opportunity and I said, let me add on to the wonderful job that Dr. Vivekanand has done for you for 32 years, 32 days. And I'll tell you, I've known him so well. I've been to his house. I've met his children. I know him. He is a die-hard contributor, giver. He's also got that same, in Hindi I say bimari. I've also got a bimari. He's also got a bimari of giving to people, giving, give. And that's what he does. And I'm so happy. And that is why I came home last not last night, but this morning at 2 a.m. And I just jotted on a few points because if I start talking aimlessly, then I can go on for hours. So I spent a little time on just writing down a few points that I want to tell you. And then I slept at about 3 and I was up at 6:30 to be with you again. Why? Because I want to give. I want to contribute. I didn't come to this planet. You know, when God comes, when I go there, up there, and there's an interview, and God says, so what did you do on the planet for, I'm already 74, so 74 plus years, whatever. What did you do? So if I tell him, ki, God, I got this and I got this and I got this. So he says, you're only giving. I said, yeah, there was no time to do anything else. I was only grabbing. He says, what did you give to the planet? Oh, God, there was no time for that. No. You have to give and take. You know, you have to accept, you have to receive because the world gives you. So I've also received a lot from my teachers, from my parents, from my friends, from my gurus. I've learned from them and passed it on to you. I am only conveying. I've taken from here and giving it here. I'm not doing something great, but I am enjoying passing it on. Like a postman. I take it from the postman and deliver it here. That's what I do. Okay, but I enjoy it. And that's a very important thing in your life. Ask yourself, am I doing what I love to do? So here I'll take a little break. If you can just take me off this spotlight. I want to, or even I can do it. Okay, I can do it myself. I want to ask some of you, why did you do this 32 days course? What was your aim? Because your why should be very clear. And all those who want to know why do I say your why is very important, then you must see or watch a video. It's called The Golden Circle by Simon Sinek. Right? So that is the one which talks about why. He's written also a book called Start With Why. So 2, 3, 4 people, can you please raise your hands and tell me, why did you take on this course of 32 days? Why did you want to do it? Yes, I think Tripti's hand goes up first. Yeah.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Thank you, sir, for motivating us. And yes, sir. Actually, sir, I joined this course because, sir, earlier I was in Indore and Delhi, and there everyone speaks Hindi. But now I'm in Bangalore, and I came here 3 years ago. So here I faced the difficulty to communicate with others. So I don't want to restrict myself from talking to people, from getting knowledge from them. So I decided to join this course and be effective communicator.
Very good. But I think you're speaking so well right now that you can start teaching. Now you can be Dr. Vivekanand's co-facilitator, and you can join him and teach people. You're speaking so well. Okay.
Thank you,
Anyone
sir.
else? So thank you very much.
It
Yes, you
means
must
a
have
lot
your.
to me.
Great.
Anyone else who wants to say, why did you take up this course? Yes, Kaleshwali.
Kaleshavali is an orthopedician, a owner of his own hospital. He's a reputed doctor and film star, megastar, film Chiranjeevi was in touch. He invited him to enter into politics, but he denied.
Very good, very good.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
doctor, tell me.
Thank you very much, sir. Sir,
Yeah, go ahead, tell me.
sir, my main purpose of joining this program is, as you said, I have enjoyed my life. I am blessed with everything in life. I'm blessed with a great practice, great education, everything. But I want to give it back to my next generation. But I'm not able to do it because of the lack of fluency in English. In my profession, I have achieved to the peak level of my level. I have an established hospital of 50-bedded hospital with my son and daughter-in-law being doctors, everybody, and next generation has come. I want to pass on my knowledge to the next generation in a better way. Till now, I am not able to do it. And fortunately, I have come across the paperless fluency course by Dr. Vivekanand sir. Then I joined. I have improved a lot from that day to this one. And now, by seeing you, people like you, what a charismatic personality you are. And you have come out of the military and doing great service to the human mankind. That principle itself is inspiring for me. The same thing in the same lines I'm going, sir.
So now if this has been recorded, you must listen to this doctor and see he's not a communicator. He is a great influencer. Look at the tone, look at the stress with what he has said. See, now I'll tell you what. You take the same words and say, you know, I have a 50-bedded hospital, and my son and my daughter-in-law are doctors, and I've done everything, but now I took this communication course because you think people will go to sleep. But look at the way he is emphasizing, I want to give to people, I've got everything in life. Now, this is what makes him not a good communicator alone, but a influencer. He's influencing us. And here already I saw when he was saying, a lot of people were clapping, a lot of people from their body language I could make out. So very good. I must congratulate you, doing a very good job.
Thank
And
you,
yes,
sir. Thank you.
I
Thank you very
may
much,
I
sir.
may contact you because I've got a knee replacement done. I have to frequently visit orthopedic surgeon. I know one more now.
Welcome, sir.
Yeah,
I'll be in touch with you, sir.
sure. Thank you. Okay, we
Nice
got
of
two
you.
more hands up and we won't take more than that, otherwise we'll get lost. Yes, so Lakshmi Kumar, ready. You're
Yes,
unmute.
very good morning, sir. I'm Lakshmi
A
Kumar
real
Reddy.
estate company in Bengaluru.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
Yes.
To join this course, actually, sir, to overcome the communication difficulties and to create the personal brand and create the legacy in the construction industries.
very good. Excellent. Excellent.
Thank you, sir.
And the last one is Dambare Lakshman. Dambare Lakshman. I don't know how to pronounce your name. I'm sorry. Yeah, Lakshman. Yeah.
Yes, I can unmute.
Sir, my name is Lakshman Dambre. I am a banker. I am doing as a brand manager since last 20 years, but I am getting trouble in speaking to customer also in English and come out to fear psychosis about the English. So I joined this course. What do you
Very
suggest to come out the fear psychosis about the English?
okay. Thank you so much. Thank you. So I'm very happy that most of you know why you have come out. You know why you have attended this course, and that is very, very important. Okay. So now let's go forward. And I want to tell you now something. Whether it is on the battlefield, whether it is in the boardroom, whether it is in the everyday life, your ability to express yourself shapes your success. How many of you agree with me that your ability to express yourself means what I want to convey? I want to convey to someone. So let's say there's a lady, a mother, whose daughter, small 5 years young daughter, she comes and says, Mama, I want chocolate. And the mother says, no chocolate. It's not good. The daughter says, why it's not good? Oh no, if you eat too much of chocolate, you will, your teeth will not be good. She says, Mama, but I don't eat too much. No, you can't get chocolate. He says, Mama, did you eat chocolate in your life? She said, yes. But your teeth are okay. She said, but I took chocolate only once in a while. So, but I haven't had chocolate for 15 days. So ultimately, the mother has no reason but say, okay, today I'm giving you a chocolate, next 15 days, no chocolate. Who expressed herself well? Who was in this communication the winner? The daughter.
Doctor.
Because she got her chocolate, she knew how to get it. Why? Because she could communicate very well. It is not about English. It is not about the language she used, but it is the way she expressed herself. So in our life, we are negotiating every day. I'm not saying negotiating only for money. We are negotiating. I'm negotiating with my wife 10 times a day. She wants to watch this channel. I want to watch this channel. So we have a compromise. I say, let's go for a movie. She says, no, no, no movie today. Compromise. I say, I want to listen to this music. She says, no, no, I want to listen to this music. Compromise. Negotiate. Okay, today you listen to this music. Tomorrow I'll listen to your music. Okay, today I'll dance to your tunes. Tomorrow you dance to my tune. When we came to COVID, I started saying, oh, we are made for each other couple. MAID, maid. I was a maid for her and she was a maid for me because there was no maid coming those days. So how do you express yourself is very important, right? Okay. Vivek, you'll have to tell me when to stop because what happens is when I start talking, then it's difficult for people to stop me.
No, no problem, sir.
No problem. We
Carry
can
on.
continue, sir. In fact, we can continue.
Okay, okay. Right. So, uh, so what I was saying, communication is not just about speaking English fluently. It's the first step. It's a very important step. But don't think that because now you have achieved fluency in speaking English, your job is done. No, it is just a milestone. There's enough road to cover right now. So it's about influence, it's about clarity, and it's about impact. So firstly, I say communicate with intent. What is your intention? Why am I saying what I'm saying? What is the end result? Now you have to understand that if you know the end result, that I'm going to get into this communication to do this, then the way you communicate will become better. So it's more about thinking here. It is not only about your tongue. It's not only about what you say. It's about what you say, how you say. What you say, how you say. If you want to write down. These things are very important because we forget them in our daily life. Okay. Now, I'm also a great fan and great follower of time management. So this is a book I've written called
Million
Million
dollar.
Per Second. And I say, don't spend time, invest time. Why? Because our subconscious mind is sensitive to the words we use. So when we say, I want to spend time, the subconscious mind thinks that's going to be something that's going to be, diminishing to zero, because people who know accounts will know that expenditure in a profit loss statement means something that is going to low. Nobody likes that column of expense. They all like the column of revenue. What am I going to get? So the moment you tell your mind that I will invest 30 minutes, your subconscious mind now has a task. What will be my return? What will be my return? Right? So it is more important that we look at the return, we invest our time, okay, and because words are currency, and how you utilize them, whether you spend them or you invest them, will determine the return. So in the army, before we give any command to the men, we go through an inner debate. In a very formal language, it's called an appreciation, a military appreciation. And the questions we ask ourselves before we give out a command, before we give out orders, what is the task at hand? First question, what is my task? Second, what does it involve? Third, how far can I plan now? You follow this concept anywhere in life. You want to write down, write down. First question, what is my task? Write down clearly, understand. Don't go beyond. If you have not understood your task, go to your boss, or if it is your own thing you have decided, debate upon it and say, am I very clear in what I want to achieve? So what is my task? What does it involve? My task is my daughter's wedding. What does it involve? It involves setting up of the venue, arranging the money, blah, blah, whatever. So write down what all it involves. A band, it involves getting a photographer, blah, blah, all that list. What does it involve? And how far can I plan now? I am not married. I'm looking for a girl and I start planning about children. Which school will my children go to? Arey, first find a girl to get married. So how far can I plan now? So that means you first start implementing the first step before you go to the second one. Okay. Also, you ask more questions like, is this the best course of action? Is there any other option available? Is there some better way of doing it? Will my team or will people who are listening to me, my customers and all, will they clearly understand my intent? And what impact will my words have? If I say this, will it demoralize people? Will it make them unhappy? So do I have to use some diplomacy here? Can I, instead of saying, you haven't performed this month, a lot of leaders will say, oh, they'll call their subordinate in the office and they will say, why the hell haven't you completed your target last month? If you don't do it, I am going to kick you out. But there's another leader who says, you have been performing so well. And what's happened? I see there's a drop in your performance. I guess there must be some problem. Can I know your problem? Can I help you solve your problem? And then say, if you ask a question, how can I help you to achieve our target? Not how can I help you to achieve your target? Because if you're a leader, that person's target is your target as well. So if you understand this language, that instead of saying, I'll kick you out, my intention is not to punish him. My intention is to make him. In the army, I realized that my job is not to punish people, to break them. My job is to make them, not break them. So if I want to make them, I must talk in a language where they get encouraged. And I tell them, first thing is always a good thing. So, Dr. Kaleshwari will know that when a sister, a nurse gives an injection, you know what she does first? She first takes a cotton with some spirit and softens that place. So when you talk to somebody, when you want to give feedback, so you first soften the place. And soften the place means, Tripti, you're so good in your work. Every time I see you're performing so well. So this is what you have done. You made that person happy a little bit. Very happy to. But I don't know why in the last 1 month, your performance is going down. Okay. Now, if this now is the time when the syringe is being pushed in now. Okay. Now is the time when the needle is going in. There is pain, and now the medicine is going in. And this is the bitter part. This is the painful part. Okay. That you have not been achieving your targets. Do you know the impact it is having on our company? And do you think we can afford to do that? Do you think that there's a requirement of your improving your performance? All that is that painful thing. And then she takes out the syringe and again rubs it here. Say, and Tripti, if you do what I told you, I'm sure next time your performance will be better than even what it was in January. You think this communication makes a better impact? I was talking about. What is the impact of your communication on that person? Are you here to annoy that person? Are you here to demoralize that person? So the same thing can be said in different ways, and you have to understand what is the most effective way to handle that situation. Okay. So I know that I am running behind time. So just a minute. Where have I gone? Yeah, okay. Now, so if you know what is your core message, what can I say it with clarity? If these questions come to your mind, it will be great. Now, I want to give you a few key lessons for leaders particularly. The first is, every conversation that you make is an investment. So time is our most valuable asset, And the way we communicate determines whether we are investing it wisely or are we wasting it. There was a senior army officer who told me once, if your words do not add clarity or direction, listen to the words of the officer. I want to I want to remind you that we want to that you got my money is outstanding. So she said, sir, but we haven't received your invoice. So I told you I was the chief everything officer. I had done everything myself. I didn't have a clerk. I didn't have anyone. So I got very annoyed. So I started shouting at her. I said, what the hell are you saying? Because I was now worried. She hasn't got my invoice. Now I'll send another invoice. She'll take another 1 month in processing. Oh, my money will be so delayed. So I said, what the hell do you mean? I typed it myself. I put it in the envelope myself. I wrote the address with my own hand and I went to the post office and sent it by speed post. What do you say that you haven't got it? So she kept quiet. She kept listening. When I finished, and that's another thing, communication is listening, active listening. So she listened very well. And then she says, now can I say something? I said, yes. By now all my energy was exhausted because shouting, you shout. She said, sir, I don't make a check when you send an invoice. I make a check when I receive it. All that you have told me, you have convinced me that you sent it. But I haven't received it. Same thing is in communication. I said it, but you didn't hear it. I said it. I'm saying something to all 32 of you, but somewhere you will say, he will understand differently, Right? So the communication goes haywire when you don't take something called feedback. When you ask a person, did you do it? In the army, we have a feedback system that if I give an order to say 32 degrees west, so the other person on the listening end has to say 32 degrees west, so that I know he exactly heard what he didn't understand 5 as 9. Okay, very important, because we can't make mistakes because they kill our people, right? So you have to understand that communication is not what you say. Communication is what the other person understood. So it's your job to make sure that you're not only saying, but you're making the other person understand. See, Dattaram is walking. I think he's having a walk. He's listening. So see, multitasking. Very good. Okay, so let's go further. And so now the second thing I want to talk about is the lesson number 2 is know when to walk away. Know when to walk away means know when to disengage. Know when a conversation is not making any sense, withdraw. For example, if you are sitting in about 6-7 people in the office and there's something being talked about, whether it is company politics or state politics or whatever, or it could be any plan that people are talking about, and there's an argument going on and nobody is listening to you, there is some time when you can say, forget it. Because I understood, I learned a principle from, again, one of my senior officers. And you know what he said? He says, never argue with a stupid man. Never argue with a stupid man because he's an expert at it. He's an expert at being stupid. And if you want to argue and win from him, you have to be more stupid than him. So it is better to withdraw and say, okay, go ahead. You do what you want to do. Okay, you must learn this trick of withdrawing. So the second thing I'm telling you is withdraw when need be. It is not necessary to continue with the conversation. Right? Okay. So that was the second thing. The third thing I want to tell you is, and this is the most important, and I'm very sure that majority of you would have never heard of this. Okay. And let me explain this to you. When I am talking about communication, there is a message in my mind. There's a message. There is something I want to tell you, whether it's my experience, it's my story, it's a factual knowledge that I have, which I want to convey to you, whatever. There's something that I want you to know. And if I am able to convey the same thing to you, that you understand it the same way that I meant, then I'm a good communicator. But where did this thing come from? What is the birth of this message? Where's the source? Where did you get this message from? Anyone? Where did this message, the one I want to communicate, where did it come from? Where was it born?
From the universe.
Anyone?
Anyone can raise your hand. Dr. Brigadier asked us a question. Where do we get these thoughts?
Where do we get the content of what I'm going to speak?
Those are from our subconscious mind.
Very good. Who said this? Jagdesh
Venugopal.
Karnan.
Dr. Venugopal, if he is a pediatrician and he is one of the anchors over here today.
Oh, okay. Very good. Okay, that's a hand up. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Venugopal. Okay, very right. What you get it is from your mind. So I'll tell you something more about it. There is an inner debate that goes on into your mind. Okay. So when, let's say you're sitting in a crowd and you say, should I say it or shouldn't I say it? Will people like it or not? And what should I tell them? Okay. All that noise that gets created in your mind, you first have to calm that. And that is why they say that when you want to say something, take a little time. Your elders in your family must have told you in your childhood also, think before you speak. How many of you say that? How many of you heard your parents tell you, think before you speak? You know what they meant was not thinking, was analyzing. Analyze. Should I say this now? Should I say it later? What will be the impact of my speaking? Will it have an impact, a positive impact or a negative impact? Will I make this person or break this person? Will this person, you see, there's somebody who was very bad to me, a senior officer, and who said for some reason he didn't like something I did, and he told people, I will never let this man become a colonel from a major. And I told myself, God is there. Who are you to make me a colonel or a brigadier? God will make me whatever is. And I became a brigadier. And he didn't become a brigadier. He retired as a colonel. I became a brigadier and he's going to stop me from becoming a brigadier. Okay. So, when his son-in-law got posted under me, and this day I was very scared that now I will give him a bad report because I have been bad to him. So now I will be bad to his son-in-law. But why should I be bad to his son-in-law? Because he had a stupid father-in-law. Okay. That is not his fault. And that must be his parents' fault for making him his father-in-law. Okay. So I said, no. Son has to get his due for whatever, son-in-law. So when one day his wife, that is the daughter of that officer, senior officer of mine, she said, Papa is coming for a few days to stay with us. I was in Bareilly. So I said, okay, one evening you reserve for us, we'll call him for dinner. I called him for dinner and I called a lot of other ASC officers and we had dinner and had a huge bungalow with a nice lawn. So sitting in the lawn, and when the party was on and people are having their drinks and all, I just stopped everyone and said, I want to say a few words. Today we are here to welcome so and so. He has been my senior in the army, and I am a brigadier today because of him. Okay, now he knew what I meant. Nobody else did. Okay. I said it is because of his grooming and his training that I could reach this rank. I'm very grateful to him. And we are here today in his honor. This man, he just asked me to come a little away. We had a bar in the corner of the lawn. Behind that bar, there was a tree. He took me under that tree, was a little dark. He had tears in his eyes. And he said, Sushil, I was so bad to you, and you're still so good to me. Now I had a choice of saying, you are that bloody idiot who said I will not let you become a brigadier. What would have I achieved? I would have created one more level of enmity. But what did I do? I turned around a relationship just by being polite to him. So this is what communication can do. Okay, so understand the power of communication. It is not fluency in English alone. Now you have got a tool. You see, earlier you were going in a rickshaw. Now Dr. Vivekanand is giving you a car. He says, don't go on a rickshaw. I'm giving you a car, but you still have to go from place A to place B. He didn't say that I will give you a car in which you can keep in your garage and still do everything. He's given you a car to use now. If you don't drive that car, you will still not go anywhere. So he's given you a tool. But if you don't use that tool, you'll be where you are. You'll become a very good English speaker. But your success will not come from speaking English. Your success will come with what you do. So how many of you, please raise your hand if you agree that knowledge is power. Raise hands. Knowledge is power. How many of you? Bullshit. Knowledge is not power. Knowledge is not power. Please quote me to anyone. Application of knowledge is power. You know,
using it is the power. Perfect.
yeah. So if you have you ever seen a cigarette packet? Have you ever seen? On the cigarette packet, it is written, cigarette smoking is injurious to health. So the person who's smoking knows it is injurious to health. He still has it. Knowledge is there, but he's not applying it. Is that knowledge of any use to him? Okay, so therefore, you have to be very, very careful that you use that knowledge. So you have learned how to speak, but now what are you going to speak? He can't give you the wisdom. He can't tell Dr. Keleshwali that I have now told you to speak in English. Now I'll tell you how to conduct a surgery. No, he can't. He can only tell you how to speak English. But how is he going to use English with his patients, with his staff, with his customers? Is going to decide how well he is going to be, how good a doctor will he be. Okay, right. And I think now I'll wind up because I'll carry on like this and all of you will curse me for it then. Okay.
Thank you, sir. So
okay. So I just wind up by saying,
sure.
I'll wind up by saying that you have learned you got a very important tool. Now start concentrating on its use. How am I going to use this tool to make the best of it? And for some of you who want to do it, I do a lot of mentorship. I talk, what you see on behind in my screen is battlefield to boardroom. Lead the army way. I tell people how to become a good leader, a good influencer, okay, and how to succeed in your life. So free programs. It's only when you want to do a mentorship or something with doctor where he's dedicated his time every day for 32 days, then there is a payment for it. But otherwise, please connect with me on LinkedIn. That is one place where I'm always there. And I write one post every day. If you follow my posts From there itself, you will get to learn a lot. LinkedIn is a very good professional platform for you to showcase your strengths, get people, you even to improve your communication, to further polish it. You see what Dr. Vivekanand has told you, he's given you a tool, but till you keep polishing it. He didn't say that you can take a bath today and now that's the end of it. Now you don't have to take a bath again. You have to continuously learn. And I'm very proud long life learner. So at the moment, every time I have a project, anytime somebody asks me, there's something which I'm learning. So I am now learning because I'm going to in May goal in May 2025, I'm going to launch a program called Lead with AI. So the new thing I'm learning is AI. How I am going to use artificial intelligence to make better leaders. Because I talk on leadership, but I can't keep talking old stuff. So the new leadership also needs to know how to harness and leverage artificial intelligence. So I'm going to do that. So therefore, all those who want to go higher, want to do more things, are welcome. Thank you very much, Jai Hind. And thank you very much, Dr. Vivekanand, for giving me this opportunity. I really enjoyed having a good time with you early morning. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.